You're about to listen to our interview with 20-year-old Baltimore guitarist, producer, songwriter, and film scorer, John Tyler, a.k.a. Johnny Llama. In our interview, we start off talking about John's journey from playing guitar hero at 9 years old, all the way to having his own band, creating the Love Groove Music Festival, and releasing several albums, including his latest, The Good Side of Things. In the second half of this interview, we discuss the recent Black Lives Matter protests and John's experience performing for protesters. We discuss some of the reforms that we hope will come from the protests and whether artists should be obligated to play a role in furthering the BLM movement. Due to some technical difficulties with my microphone, I, your dear co-host Okechi, was not able to speak during the episode, although I submitted my own questions through Zoom chat. If you're listening through YouTube, be sure to subscribe and smash that like button. If you're listening on other platforms, be sure to follow the Trip Trap Talk Show. Also, follow us on Instagram at Trip Trap Talk Show. Enjoy the show.
Welcome.
All right, ready whenever you are.
Okay. Welcome to the Trip Trap. Oh, dang, I messed that up. Trip Trap Talk Show. All right. Welcome to the Trip Trap Talk Show with your host, John Tyler.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, fuck. All right. Don't worry about that. Just hit my computer. But thank you for coming on the show, John. It's a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. So I guess let's get into it. John, why don't you tell us, one, what you're most known for, and two, where you started in music?
That's a great question because I think it differs what I'm most known for based on the area. So in DC, mainly everybody knows me for like production with Cassine and production with iMojo and Old Slice and those type of artists. And here in Baltimore, people kind of know me for throwing these events like the Love Groove Music Festival and just throwing shows and my own personal music. I think that just depends where you at, but I'm also trying to make sure everyone on DC knows I also do my own type of stuff too.
Yeah, if you've ever been listening to a song and you hear, "Damn, Llama, that's a banger," then that's how you know.
That's how you know.
Where did the llama come from? I called Johnny Llama.
So in 7th grade, when I first started releasing music, everyone hated it and was like, "You're trash. Just stop. Just quit." And I don't know why I used to say this, but I always used to be like, "Just watch. Music's gonna get me so big that I'm gonna buy a llama and I'm gonna have it in my backyard, and then y'all gonna be mad." And then people used to make fun of me and just call me Johnny Llama, and I just kind of took it and ran with it because it sounded cool. So that's where it came from. Yeah.
Do you think you'll get a llama when you've made it?
Maybe. They spit a lot. I had no idea.
They do.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I would love to have one though.
You gotta shoot a music video with one. It'd be sick.
Definitely.
But how'd you start getting into music?
Great question. So music actually been in my family since slavery times. Like, it's been passed down. Like, all my ancestors, all the way up to my grandma, has been forced to play piano. And my mom actually kind of stopped with me. She didn't want to force me to play piano, but I somehow kind of fell in love with it. In my old neighborhood, I had these two guys named Chris and Tyvon, and they did like heavy metal music. And I was like, I used to just be so hyped about it. And they also used to play Guitar Hero and rock band. And I used to just sit there as a child, just watching them play. And I got my own game, and I literally just sat in my room for like 3 years straight playing Guitar Hero. And that kind of turned into me playing actual guitar. And then from there, I formed like a little band to like perform at like my elementary school talent show. And it was me, my friend Ishmael on drums, Kylie Powell on vocals, and Jalen, I forgot his last name. That's crazy, I still remember them because I don't really talk to them no more, other than Ish. But we did the show and we like literally rocked the house. Like it was ridiculous. Like
In
we had
elementary school?
Elementary school. Like this was
That's what's
fifth grade. We did I love rock and roll. That song. I forgot the original artist. But yeah, we killed it. And then from there I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. And I never looked back since.
Damn. All the way in 5th grade.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
But the terms of writing music, that didn't really come until like middle school. I used to just write to write my problems away because, I deal with a lot of bullying and a lot of that, and writing just helped me cope with the pain. And from that, I actually ended up making the True Art album, which was my first ever project release. And yeah, from there, I just been building and building and growing and growing.
Did you have like early metal influence then in the beginning?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's all I listened to. Like Stricken, I used to love Stricken. And Disturbed, the band Disturbed.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, like that's all I listened to. So yeah, actually at first I wanted to be like a rock star, like a rock artist, punk, metal, like all of that was me. I wasn't really into hip hop until like high school, which is actually kind of crazy to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like my beginning influences were more so towards the rock genres.
Mm. So when you start getting into like soul stuff, I see you got like Curtis Mayfield behind you.
Yeah.
Like that.
I think it was Black Eyed Peas was.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember.
Fire.
Yeah, honestly, they got some bangers. Like if you go back to like their first project, it has like a lot of bossa nova, a lot of R&B and soul type of stuff, and that was kind of like my first like door opening to that. And me just having my mom and my dad, they used to play Everybody See Behind Me, so I kind of just gravitated to that too. But yeah, so a lot of that had an influence on my sound and what I do.
Yeah, I can tell, especially in the song Joy.
Yeah.
Very soulful, very groovy. I've heard that you have some inspiration from Tyler the Creator and Pharrell Williams. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I grew up on Tyler. Like I was the whole Odd Future movement. Like that was my whole middle school life. And it's actually kind of crazy to see where he is now from me seeing where he was in the Goblin era.
Completely different.
Completely different.
Shit he was saying back then was just like so absurd.
I think he's still banned in England or something.
I think it's Sweden.
One of these countries
They
for being
started a
too vulgar.
riot.
But now he's doing like the Grinch movie.
Yeah, that threw me off.
Yeah.
That was tough though.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't get into Pharrell until later on. I had a song on the True Love project called So Good. And literally everyone kept saying, Pharrell, this sounds like a Pharrell song. And I was kind of confused. I was like, Pharrell? This is like at the time when Happy was at his peak.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of confused. The Happy guy? Like Pharrell. And then I went to his nerd stuff.
Yeah.
And I was so upset. I didn't know about him before because he had such a heavy like rock and punk influence and funk and like soul type stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I've been a fan. Pharrell's been my favorite producer since. Like,
yeah, he's got such a unique sound, and he loves to experiment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love about him. Even like the songs like Stir Fry with Migos. Oh my,
yeah,
that is such a good beat. Or like Neon Guts with Lil Uzi. Like he just has the capability to take an artist out their comfort zone and make like a really good song.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a, I love Pharrell. Love to meet him.
Yeah, it's so much groove to everything too.
For sure.
Your first two albums were called True Art and True Love. What do those phrases mean to you? Why'd you call your albums that?
All right, so originally it was a play it was like a 5-series play. It was gonna be true art, true love, true genius, true power, and true wisdom. I don't know why. I just thought it was.
I mean, it sounds pretty cool.
Right, yeah.
I could dig it.
Yeah, at the time I was like, oh, I was so hyped on it, and it was gonna be like a really big play, and just kind of growing up in like a Christianity family, those were considered the qualities of God. So that's kind of where it came from, especially the love and power and wisdom and stuff. But I kind of just ended it after the love. I was like, this is not cool anymore.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you have like all the 5 acts planned out at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a notebook. It has the script and music for every project. And that's kind of crazy. I should look at that again. Maybe some fire.
Come back.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have like did you have like an envision of acting all of it out at all, or okay?
Yeah, I wanted to take it to like Broadway.
Oh,
Yeah, I had like really big ideas and dreams for it.
Hey,
Maybe
you're
one
still
day.
young, man. You got lots of time.
yeah.
Yeah, only 20.
That's wild, yeah. You're younger than my younger brother.
Really?
Yeah, he's.
How
20.
are you?
I'm 24.
Yeah, we're both 24.
Yeah, I look like I'm 18 though. So I'm chilling.
You know, people who look young tend to be the old, and people who look old tend to be young now.
Yeah.
I kind of.
I remember one of my good friends, first day I met him, freshman year in high school, I thought this guy was a senior. He was a freshman, yeah. He was like 6 foot, like starting to grow a mustache and everything.
That's my friend Corey.
Yeah, we all got that one friend.
Yeah, he don't make no sense. He's 17 right now, and he looks 35.
Oh my
I can
God.
actually show you. It's ridiculous. I'll show you after the interview.
That's funny. Well, yeah, like
Oh.
freshman year, like I felt like you'd have people who look really old, who like went through puberty already, and then you have kids who like don't go through puberty till
Yeah.
your junior year. Like
And they're all playing on the same basketball team.
yeah.
You can't play against people like 10 feet taller than you.
Definitely.
So why did you decide to put all your jazz stuff on like a different persona as Johnny Llama?
Because I felt like, well, you know, I had the name Johnny Llama for a very long time. People didn't take it serious at first. Like when I would go and into like business meetings and I would say Johnny Llama, everybody would laugh. And I just had the name for a while. And there was people who liked it, but I never really released music under the name. And The Good Side of Things just came out in September. That's about 9 months ago. And I just felt like, excuse me, I wanted the album to, you know, stay the main focus under John Tyler,
Yeah.
and maybe start like a whole new thing with the Johnny Llama and really experiment, and I could just do weird stuff
Mhm.
under that name, just drop jazz projects and singles whenever I want, versus John Tyler is like a steady focus. I think about everything before I release it type of thing.
So it kind of sounds like your Instagram versus your Finsta.
Basically, that is 100% accurate. 100% accurate. I like that.
Did you ever listen to Mac Miller?
Oh, yeah. My grandma actually put me on.
Really?
Because my grandma knew his grandma.
Wow.
And yeah, she put me on at like middle school when his album, Watching TV with the Sound Off, came out.
Oh my God.
I've been a fan since.
Right. Yeah, he has a moniker called Larry Lovestein, which is his like jazz, like R&B project. He has a bunch of monikers actually. Larry Fisherman,
Yeah, that's his producer name, right?
and then
He has his first project with Vince Staples was under that. Or Vince Staples'
Right.
first project was
right.
produced by Larry Fisherman. Yeah. And there was another one, like Delusional.
Thomas, yeah,
Yeah.
with his like high voice. It's
Yeah. I rock with all of it.
true. So do you think you'll have like a bunch of different alter egos too, based on kind of the sound you're trying to get, or
Not to not to that extent, but I think Johnny Llama for sure is gonna be a new sound that I'm working on. Like I'm working on writing this like full out jazz, like legit like jazz, like you hear in like the 40s type of thing, and put it under that name. And I wouldn't necessarily do that with myself, my main page. So yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So are you for that jazz project? Are you like playing all the instruments and stuff? Are you getting like other people to help you out?
Yeah, this is gonna be
writing it.
Yeah, I'm writing it. It's gonna be the first time where we go to an actual studio and sit as a group and play together. So I always wanted to do that. I never done it. It's always been me individually, or I send it to like a drummer and he does his thing and sends it back. But it's something about when you play together, just different things come out of it and different ideas. And it's just great. Yeah, I live for that.
Is it the people you played with for your NPR Tiny Desk video?
Yeah. So I have a new sax player named Danny and a new singer, a new singer named Brihan. And everyone else is the same. Yeah. And I have a new percussionist who just joined, who does the congas and cowbells. His name's Kenny. He's great. He makes a show 10 times better.
Wait, was it cowbell?
Yeah, man. You know, I used to hate on cowbell. I really did not know, like, what's the use of it. But he really knows how to like use a cowbell. That sounds ridiculous, but if you come to the live show, you're gonna see.
Maybe we should have a cowbell player on here. Really dive in deep.
Oh, like
they don't get enough love.
I think you watch Big Boy's Neighborhood. I think that's what it's called.
Right. Yeah, he has the cow. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
So I want to get into your album a little bit, the good side of the things. What was the inspiration behind like the radio intro and all that radio stuff, which I loved, by the way. It's a really cool way to tie the album together.
Appreciate it. Well, it's kind of a long story. So I'm one of those people who kind of hit puberty early in terms of my voice. Like I had the same voice since like 4th grade.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
In my whole life, literally everyone's been saying, you should do radio. Radio would be perfect for you. And I kind of just one day was like, it'd be cool to do a radio album. Kind of just wrote it in the back of my head. And then when I made Joy, it just sounded like something like a deep voice 70s, guy would just talk over. And
it sounded
it
sounded what your music video looked like.
Exactly.
Basically.
Exactly. That was the goal. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. I love those glasses too. The red ones.
Oh yeah. Shout out my friend Brian. He made those from scratch.
Oh, that's it.
Wow, it's impressive.
Yeah. But in the beginning, I never thought the whole album would be radio themed. It was kind of just like a joke, kind of like on the song Slam Poetry, when in the beginning of the song, I'm saying this is a slam poetry event. Snap your fingers. If you like close your eyes, it kind of like puts you kind of can visualize what's going on. And after the song was done, I was just like, cool. And I just made a bunch of other songs. And I was just like, you know what? Maybe I should just make the whole project radio thing. And then as I kept going, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just get all my favorite artists and have them do like a shout out type of radio thing. You know how like famous artists do the shout outs?
Yeah, right.
Hot 995.
Yeah, that's cool.
You're listening to Hot 995.
Yeah. And then from there, I was like, you know what? I should add a commercial. That would be even funnier.
Do-rag commercial.
Right.
Oh, I think Okechi's here.
Oh, lit. Are you gonna start selling those things as merch? The stuff in your commercials?
Hey, how you doing, bro?
Yes, this is Okechi.
Oh, with the studio?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I want to hear your beats after this. We can't hear you.
I can't hear you, Okechi.
Your mic.
He goes, oh, I know.
Wait, while he's fixing that, so like when you're making an album, do you have like a general idea, or you just kind of start making music and kind of the direction you're going in, you're like, okay, I think I'll start moving in this direction, or do you kind of have like a theme laid out?
It's different every time. Like the true art and true love, like that was, like I said earlier, that was a play. It was like a book before it was music. But the good side of things, the goal was to drop Joy as just one single. Like I never planned to have like a full album because I just released like No Color in like February. So for the good side of things, it was literally I was just waking up every day, like doing a bike trip. I come home, make songs, and then next thing I know, I just have like 20 songs. And I'm just like, oh, okay, this could actually be a full-length project, and especially with the whole radio thing going on. But originally, I had a whole separate project called The Thoughts Inside My Head, and I've been holding that for like 2 years. It was supposed to be No Color, then Thoughts Inside My Head, but when No Color came out, I was doing a lot of performances, and No Color was just like all about race. It was very Black. It was, when I would perform, I would see that it'll make people very uncomfortable. And there was a lot of times where, specifically this one time, this Caucasian woman came up to me and she said it was too deep. It was bumming her out. It was
too deep?
Yeah, it was too much. And that kind of, it happened to me like a lot of times, and it kind of like bummed me out, like, dang, maybe I should do a more happier approach. And I kind of, and Thoughts Inside My Head, if that was too deep, Thoughts Inside My Head was gonna be like, it's pretty powerful because it's about my friend who was murdered in the city here. But it made me just take a whole different approach, like, and just put like the message within the music, kind of like, people really don't know, but Joy is really about losing your friends, like your friends dying.
Yeah, you repeat that line twice, and my friend, something like that.
Even the chorus, people don't know what she's really saying. My friend Daisy is free yourself from the pain and the horror. You never know when you'll see tomorrow. So we're feeling joy. That's the hook. And so I was just trying to take more so approach where people can like groove to it, but it's like it's almost like medicine in the pudding. Yeah.
That's a good metaphor. Or saying. So I guess let's transition to the more serious stuff. Going off of that, you've been playing at a bunch of Black Lives Matter protests, right?
Yeah.
How has that been, and like how has that compared to your just regular concerts and like the feedback and the vibe?
I actually prefer the protests because it's not about me versus a show. It is kind of about me.
Yeah.
And the power of music is it gives people hope. Like if you think about songs like Kendrick Lamar, All Right, like that gives people hope. And for me to be able to write a song that can make people think or start a conversation, or that can give people hope to accomplish something, and to perform it in front of people who needs that is such a powerful thing. Such a powerful thing. And just, I honestly, it was a life-changing experience. Just to perform at protests, life-changing experience.
Right. So what kind of were like some of the live reactions that you saw when you were playing? Experiences from that?
A lot of crying. I never really got that in performances. Seeing people cry, that was new. Or just because I performed mainly the No Color stuff, and at the time, you got, like I told you earlier, when No Color came out, when I was performing it, people weren't really resonating with it. It basically people just saying just stop performing this altogether, and to see how it really affects and gives people hope and motivation to make a change, a solidified change. It's just a powerful thing.
Yeah, especially with slam poetry. I really like the message of that. So in that song, you kind of talk about the power of conversation and how you can like use that to defeat racism. Have you talked to anyone who had like a different viewpoint? You know, like someone who was Blue Lives Matter or something like that?
Kind of.
And like, how did it go? Were they able to listen?
It was more so a person asking, why does Black Lives matter and not blue lives or all lives? And basically just saying, kind of like with I was talking to my friend Candy, and we basically just talked about how all lives really can't matter if Black lives don't matter. Or really if, with blue lives, blue lives is really not even, it's not really life, it's a job. At the end of the day, they can you kind of signed up for the risks of, being killed because you're trying to help out your community and city. But you can't turn off being Black or light skin or whatever skin shade of Black you are. So that was basically the whole conversation, just trying to have a person have real empathy of what Black lives truly go through.
Yeah, I feel like a big problem with the people who just don't get it, it's just a lack of empathy.
100%.
Like people who live out in the boondocks haven't met a Black person in their life. The only thing they know about Black people is just
the TV.
Yeah, TV or stereotypes in media. And they just need to really talk to people. I was just listening to Joyner Lucas's "I'm Not Racist." Have you seen that? It's from a couple years ago.
I am not hip. I'll watch after this though.
Oh, it's amazing. Basically, he's rapping, but the whole music video is two actors kind of miming out what he's rapping. And on one side of a table, you have a huge white guy wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat. And the whole first verse is the white, a white person's critiques of the Black community. Oh, you guys are always complaining about stuff, you need to take care of your kids, stay in the home, take responsibility, and also just some racist shit. But then he just goes, but I'm not racist, I'm not racist. And then the second verse is from the Black person's perspectives, saying I can't fuck with you white people, you can't empathize with us, you're not seeing what we're going through, I can't even get a job because they just look at my name. And at the end, the two guys who have both listened to each other going for a hug.
Wow.
It's pretty wholesome. I mean, I didn't explain it nearly as well as the music video itself does.
No, but I got it though.
Yeah.
It's a good job.
I can't believe I'm not hip to that.
Yeah, it has 140 million views.
The only thing I know about him is the Will Smith thing.
Yeah, that's fresh.
Yeah.
I fuck with that.
What do you do with Will Smith?
He made a song called Will Smith, right?
Yeah.
And then Will Smith came on the remix.
Oh, shout out Will Smith.
Are there any specific reforms that you support, or that are your biggest calling points? If the Black Lives Matter movement only succeeds in a couple things.
I saw something at the last protest I did. They had a chart about how much the city gives, how much stuff they fund, and it was basically everything was pretty much 5 to 10%, and the police was 40%. And that is so ridiculous, especially if you come to Baltimore. If you see like most Black communities kind of look like a war zone pretty much. And I think defunding police is such a big thing that needs to happen. They also was talking about how the Maryland police actually make the most out of everyone. I'm not 100% sure that's true, but make the most out of all the police in the United States.
I can fact check that real quick.
Yeah. And that just kind of ridiculous to me. Especially, there's really, Baltimore, I'm gonna talk about the arts community. Oh, this is something I wanted to talk about that I was thinking about earlier. But the Baltimore arts is so low. There's really no opportunities here, like at all. There's like little to nothing. Like I didn't even get it in elementary school or middle school. I got it from a video game, and that goes to tell you what it's really like. And I feel like investing in the art communities is something that the city really needs to do for the upcoming youth, because arts is really what gets people stay out of trouble. It what really unifies people, whether that's in film or music or painting or dancing, whatever you want to do. I think art's a big part of everybody's life, whether you like it or not. And that's just for listening to this podcast. This is art. Or eating food, like. So I think they really need to take some of the money and really invest it into the arts community for the youth to have, because I'm heartbroken I didn't have it as a child and I had to get it from a video game. That doesn't really make sense.
Right.
No, it doesn't make sense at all. Plus, I mean, you can take all that energy that the kids have and the young people have and help them channel it into something positive, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
So, well, like the Baltimore schools, only really like sports were funded mainly at all? Like no arts programs at all? Do they have any like bands or stuff like that?
Maybe at the private schools. I know I didn't go to Poly or City. Those are like the two main schools that truly compete in like football and like soccer. But my school personally did not have any sports or basically anything outside of I went to like an art school. It was like just fashion and graphic design. I wasn't into it either. Like I hated it. I was not into it. I wanted to do something like in music, but there was no program for music.
Right.
Or I wanted to do stuff in film. There wasn't anything for film. Or it was just kind of sad. But now I have a friend, his name's Ola 7G. They're trying to start this program. Well, not him, he's like a worker, but it's a new program. It's really small, really low funded. It's called Beats Not Bullets. And they're basically trying to get artists, young youth, upcoming youth, and teach them how to make beats, how to deal with like contracts, how to like write emails, how to rap, how to sing, like pitch, learning your pitches. It's a very like,
that's sick.
Yeah, I sat in on one session. It was a beautiful thing to watch, like a 9-year-old make a beat and then like rap to it and then talk business.
Yeah, and then write an email.
Yeah.
Sincerely.
Yeah, they probably don't like that part as much, but
yeah.
I think it's a good skill to have.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a good skill to have.
Yeah, man. Like you see some emails. Like my job is a lot of like sales and like emailing and calling people, but like you just see how some people just like you can like put your email in like some way and it won't like portray what you want to say, or like you'll have like a lot of miscommunication with it.
100%.
It's really annoying. But so is that kind of why you kind of started like the Love Groove Music Festival, because you wanted to kind of see more arts around? You want to talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, so that started because also Baltimore is very segregated, especially in races and in music. But in the music community here, you will not see the jazz kids at a rock show or the rock kids at a hip hop show or the hip hop kids at an indie show. Like you're either one or the other. And as for like, when I went to DC, I saw everybody together And I just never understood why Baltimore can never be like that. So me and some other people, we decided to throw this festival together and literally put everybody on the same stage, from rock to jazz to hip hop to R&B, neo soul, indie, whatever you do, come perform. And we all come together as one big community and just show love and show respect, even if you don't like the music because it's a different genre. I understand people don't like some genres, but you can still respect it and show support and love because we're really all on the same journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, facts.
So it doesn't make sense to, battle each other to get there. Why not just uplift each other? So that was basically the whole idea for the Love Groove Music Festival.
And how was it received?
The first year, it was like 120 people, which was a big deal because my previous show before that, it was just me and my mom and the DJ. So that was a big deal for me.
Was your mom dancing at least?
Yeah. The second year, or 2019, we sold like 450 something tickets, but it was like 500 people plus staff, if you count the staff. So yeah, that was a big deal. And this year we had like 3 headlining acts. We was on Soundstage, which is the second biggest venue in Baltimore.
Yeah,
it was gonna be crazy, but Corona was like, nope.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah, that sucks. But we still trying to figure like something out. Like I told you earlier, do something at Federal Hill, get everybody come out, like big cookout type of thing.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
So Okechi asks, because his mic is dead, how has performing / making music been with coronavirus? How have you adjusted?
Well, making music has not changed. Well, it kind of changed. Like I was a little bummed out for a long time, for like about 2 months. Like I didn't even touch the guitar, keyboard. I was just kind of just so not motivated. Excuse me. I didn't really want to do anything but play Minecraft.
Did you build some cool stuff at least on Minecraft?
Yeah, I'm very good at Minecraft. I actually went to school for architecture because of Minecraft. I got in because of Minecraft. After this, I'll send you like a screenshot of like I have a whole city, and maybe you can put it like right here.
Wait, so that was your resume?
Yeah, literally that was it. It was just Minecraft.
Yeah, you should start streaming Minecraft.
I would love. Actually, I used to. I took it down though, because once the kids found out, going to school was rough.
Oh yeah.
Llama also plays Minecraft.
I mean, now I don't care. Minecraft is
right.
Yeah.
Wait, in middle school, nah, it wasn't that. I forgot what the question was.
How has performing / making music been during Corona times?
So my first performance was actually the protest. I think that was a month ago. I was super nervous. Like I usually don't get nervous, but I went like 4 months without performing to having to perform. Mm-hmm. And I was very rusty, especially on the guitar, because I stopped playing. Yeah. I forgot literally all the lyrics to my song. I even messed it up live. Like I stumbled a few times. And it was rough all the way up until I got on stage and I was like, oh, this is what I do. So yeah, that was cool. Actually, I did do one performance for a virtual prom, Maryland's virtual prom. I don't know about that.
Nah, but that sounds dank.
Just play through Zoom?
Yeah, it was through Zoom. But CNN made it look dumb. Like, they made it look so stupid. They made it look so stupid. Like they showed my friend dancing. Like they made him do like that dance. And then they showed him doing that with no music. And that was literally all they showed. think it was like virtual prom, Maryland's virtual prom. And Twitter, if you go on Twitter, it's literally everyone is clowning Maryland. Like it is ridiculous. Like it's
The fake news,
I'm
man.
gonna find the video.
yeah. I can send it to you through Twitter if you can't find it on YouTube. It's the funniest thing ever.
It's so funny. Were you performing just in your room, or were
Yeah.
you in a studio? Okay.
In my room, they sent like a really big backdrop. I put it behind me. There was a bunch of other dope artists on the lineup too. Dina, Kudo, NYC, Image. Shout out to all of them. All great artists. Julian Chang. Yeah, all great artists.
Do you feel like you're getting like more fans through the protests, like from them seeing you and stuff?
Yeah, for sure. Now I keep getting the protest calls. Like every protest here, I get a call saying, "Do you want to perform?" But yeah, I have noticed my Spotify and like Apple Music and my Instagram followers went up tremendously, especially on Apple Music and Spotify. I
Yeah.
think it was at like 5,000, and now it's at like close to 7,000 on Apple Music. I forgot Spotify. I don't know.
It's funny that you were like making all this stuff like before it was cool, and now it's like so extremely timely.
Yeah. I think about that a lot too. Just cause like, dang. I mean, I'm glad people want to make a change and people want to protest. But I don't know. I just hope like everything's genuine and not just for like a trend.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing like a lot of companies come out just Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. It's everywhere. And I kind of feel like, well, people, now Twitter is making it's forcing people to say it, or you're canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically.
That's such a crazy thing to me.
Okechi asks, would you be able to describe what the protests were like versus what's being shown on the news, or what isn't being shown on the news as well?
Well, on the news, what's crazy? In Baltimore, on the news, they show clips of like old stuff, like what happened like 5 years ago, the riots, and they made it seem like it was they made it seem like it was happening today, and there was like crazy riots happening. Peaceful protest turns into a crazy riot in Baltimore, and I was watching it. I was watching the news like, dang, that happened in the city. And then I talked to my friend Candy, who was down there, and she was like, what? No, that didn't happen. It was as peaceful as it can get. People was handing out water bottles. Everybody was checking each other. We was protesting. It was peaceful. And when I actually went to one of the protests, it was such love and unity. Like nothing was for money. People were just trying to help each other and really just support this movement and try to make this solidified change, because that's really what needs to happen.
Yeah.
So the news can be really fake, and that made me wake up and realize you can't really believe everything they feed you.
Definitely not. You always gotta get a second source.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially if you're gonna share something online. I mean, I remember hearing that like Baltimore has been handling the protests really well this time around, just because of how much of a shit show it was like last time.
Yeah.
Freddie Gray. I mean, can you speak to that? Like, do you think, like, were the police hostile at the protest you were at, or was everything real chill?
Yeah, it was very chill. The police, they were like, I don't know if you play like Call of Duty Black Ops, but they looked like them. Like, it was kind of scary, to be honest. Like these big guns, and they're like strapped up, and these like bulletproof suits. You can't even really see their faces, just their eyes just staring at you. But yeah, they was pretty chill. They didn't do anything. People didn't do anything but protest. But as far as the Freddie Gray, I wasn't at those protests because I was like 15 at the time. My mom was not letting me out the house.
Yeah, I feel that.
But I had a friend tell me it wasn't really as what you saw on the news. Again, it was more so. I mean, that did happen, but it wasn't all that because they replayed it so many times. It just made it look like it was just a house show down here.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do on the news? Be like, look at these people peacefully walking.
Yeah,
You're just gonna like change the channel and be like, whatever, man.
Right.
yeah,
That's what sucks. Bad news sells, unfortunately. And it's like one thing happens and they'll just keep replaying it over and over again. It's like, it's probably like a few people out of like many who are like peacefully protesting.
yeah. It sucks, man.
Yeah,
It really does.
complete BS.
Was Kasim, because I remember when we interviewed Kasim, he was pretty upset about not going to the Freddie Gray protest. Was he at the protest with you, or was he in DC?
He was at the one in DC. He was telling me about it. He said he had a good time. It was as peaceful as it could get.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, he wasn't here. I think his car broke down, so he couldn't really even get here if he wanted to.
Right.
I didn't mean to put his business out there like that.
Sorry, Kasim.
Yeah, my bad.
Everyone donate $1 at least so you can get a new car.
Are you feeling more optimistic about the protests like now? Do you think stuff will actually get done, or are you just waiting to see if it actually does?
I mean, I'm waiting to see. As it's going now, I don't know because protests were hot a month ago. Now people are really not doing it as big as they was doing it a month ago. I'm praying, man. I really am. I hope it does make a change. Because when I was there, it looked like everybody, every community you can think of. And to mind you, Baltimore's pretty segregated too. Like the Latinos is in a completely different section of the blacks, same with the whites and the Asian community. It's completely separated. And to see everybody come together to make it change, I think something will happen. I think something has to happen.
Right?
Like,
that's what I think too. I'm an optimist.
Do you have like more protest shows coming up? Like, have you been asked to do more?
Yeah, there's one. Actually, someone asked me like right before I got on. There's one on this Sunday. I don't really have that much information about it, but yeah, I might do that one.
Nice. So do you just like pull up to a random, like they have like a certain area where they have everyone performing? Is that how it works, or?
Well, yeah, they picked the area. Well, with me and my writer, I have well, I'm not getting paid for this, but if they booked me for a show, they had to get my friend Neon June to do the sound because his sound is like perfect. And over the years, I learned bad sound kind of makes a terrible performance.
Oh my God. It's very underrated.
Yes. So I make sure they book him for him to do the sound. And he actually helps them make sure that, because he knows a lot of speakers, activists talking. He makes sure everyone is very clear and crisp. So yeah.
Okechi says, I've still been seeing big protests out. They just aren't being covered anymore. How could local artists help out, if at all possible, to get the word out, potentially?
Well, potentially through social media. That's the biggest thing right now, because you get on Twitter, you see literally everything that happened in the last 5 minutes. So I think artists is speaking up about it. But I know a lot of artists, that's not their yeah, that's not something they want to really promote. But trying to help artists to realize that this is bigger than us, and you can't really think about yourself on something like this.
Right.
Like, this is something that's going to affect your children and your grandchildren. You gotta really think about it like that. But
so do you think?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, so like, do you think it's a responsibility for all artists to kind of stand up to this, or do you think it's kind of up to them?
Ultimately, I think everyone should stand up, but at the end of the day, it's really up to them. But I think the right thing to do is to truly stand up, because what's happening in the world and in the country is just, it's been going on since America has been built.
Right.
And it's just like, why wouldn't you want to help make a change? You don't even got to do much. It's like a speak up, repost, protests or donate or write petitions.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's really up to that individual. And I talk to a lot of artists that just say, I just don't want to, that's not my vibe. I don't want to get too political. There's already people doing this, so why do I have to do it? And I don't know. I just truly think so. They really need to speak up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that. I know you said you had something to do at 6.
Is it 6?
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
If that's still the case, then do you want to, shout out any upcoming projects or just shout out your friends or?
When's this come out?
Probably like a week or something.
Oh, okay.
You
This is
guys think?
sooner, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Usually-
it's mostly just audio. Like I said, we're not really going to be doing too much editing of it, so.
Okay, well, my single Come Together is now out. Or if this comes out before next Friday. It comes out Friday.
To our future listeners, it is out now.
Yeah. Featuring Neon June, Brandon Woody, mixed by Jillian, and mastered by Ingvar Jacobson. Really cool song. Yeah.
Yeah, go give it a listen
Oh yeah.
if you want to be cool like John. Only
Yeah.
cool people listen to it.
And it's gonna be a music video to it following week. It's really cool because we got people from around the world and America, and we got on like the Zoom call like we are on right now, and they sung the lyrics through the Zoom. It's real cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have people in London, Sweden, California, Las Vegas, DC, New York, like
goodness.
all over. Yeah,
That's awesome.
so real
What's up?
cool.
And where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Ashy Boys with a Z, Ashy, and then Boys, Boy, BOYZ. I know it's weird. That's a long story for another day of why I got the Instagram name. And you can find my music on all platforms under John Tyler. And
And Johnny Llama.
Oh, and Johnny Llama. Yeah. I got to work on that branding because I feel like that's going to be confusing for some people.
Definitely. A little bit. At least on Spotify, if you go to you, like recommended artist is like Johnny Llama.
Oh, for real? Okay, that's Spotify looking out.
Oh yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on, John. It was a pleasure.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Always.
All right. Thank you for listening to the Trip Trap Talk Show.
Trip Trap Talk Show.
Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.